Hey, this is Cody Waggoner with Lasernut, Laser Town, and this is my trail buggy.
Cody is the owner of Lasernut Racing, and the off-road oasis, Laser Town, but most notably, a huge off-road motorsports contributor. We're here to do a build breakdown on his personal Ironman trail chassis. Without question, one of the most stylish and unique cars in the game. This chassis is covered in 99.9% solid copper for its hood and its side panels, with copper anodized roof. Chassis is 123 inches from bumper to bumper, 48 inches wide from outside to outside bars. Wheelbase is 109 inches and overall axle width is 86 inches. Weight without driver is 3,292 pounds and 3,892 pounds with water in the front tires. The front of this chassis having a tight and clean look, leaving just enough space for the motor and the Warren Industries winch. The rear chassis houses an 11-gallon fuel cell with a Warren Industries winch, Odyssey battery, cooler tray, and just enough room for your Factor 55 recovery equipment. Let's pop off that 99.9% copper hood and see what's inside. Power plant is a naturally aspirated 3.5 liter 6-cylinder out of a 2006 Pontiac G6. With 219 horsepower and 219 foot-pounds of torque, the oil pan has been cut and modified. On top, it's got an aftermarket intake and a Holley EFI fuel management system. It's cooled by a super sneaky rear-mounted Griffin radiator. Everything else is kept OEM for maximum trail reliability. Connected to the back of the motor is a Chrysler 904 Trans with a Sidewinder shifter, and bolted to the back of that is a built Dana 300. You can also see the custom exhaust that's connected to the built custom headers. Powertrain is protected by the AR500 steel skid plate and has JE real drive shafts connecting the transfer case to the axles. Front and rear are both portal axles and are exactly the same, except the placement of the differential, obviously because the rear has to be centered and lined up with the trans and T-case, and the front has to be offset to line up with the front of the T-case. They are trail gear fabbed axle housings with Toyota third members, RCV inner shafts, and dry slug hubs. Both sides of the axles have Jesse Haynes fabbed portal boxes. Front and rear steering are powered by PSE full hydraulic double-ended rams. For stopping power, it has Willwood brakes on all four corners. Reason for portal axles is it raises your axle tube in differential height, allowing you to clear larger rocks you might hang up on with non-portal axles. It also gives you an extra 50% gear reduction, giving a much lower crawl ratio and reduces stress on all of the drivetrain and axle components. All four corners have 20-inch copper anodized Raceline beadlock wheels wrapped in 42-inch BF Goodrich Red Label sticky crawlers. 4-link front and rear attaches the axles to the chassis using Summit aluminum links. 18-inch ORI struts are used on all four corners for maximum tuning with sway control, built-in bumps, and their reputation for stability and minimum unloading. Now let's take a look inside the cockpit. In a high-level trail car, you really want to keep it as simple and minimalistic as possible, creating a car that you can be comfortable in all day. This car has really achieved having everything you need and nothing you don't, with keeping a simple, sleek look. Small and easy to read Holley electronic dash cluster put into a clean, tight dash and trans tunnel combo with a raised Sidewinder shifter for comfort and ease of use, incorporating all the accessory switches strategically for ease of access, and a Dana 300 twin stick just to the right of the trans shifter to manipulate between front and rear digs, high and low. Last but not least, comfortable low back Carbo suspension seats. The reason for keeping a car simple and with as little as possible dash and other obstructions is to maximize visibility for all four tires in the car. The more you can see, the more you can be sure of where your car is on the rocks. Now that we know all the details on this build, let's see how this beast works in its natural habitat. The big difference between a true trail car and a comp car is making it strong enough, dependable enough, and comfortable enough to drive all the way to the trail through the trail and back as reliably as possible. Comp cars can be far more minimalistic and cut weight, getting away with not overbuilding in some areas, due to them being only 100 yards from their pits. The Lasernut trail car has an 11-gallon fuel tank, allowing it to wheel a full day without running out of fuel. Trail cars also traditionally have a passenger seat, allowing to share the experience and double the amount of fun on the trail. Now let's see how it performs on some of Johnson Valley's newest and hardest trails. Being as small as you can get, 2-seater, super lightweight, and 18 inches of travel on all 4 corners, this car crawls truck-sized boulders with no issue. When it comes to medium-sized boulder fields, these portal axles offer a huge advantage, being able to clearance over them, keeping them from getting hung up and stopping you in your tracks.
There, feel it out. Nailed it.
This car has killer stance, meaning it's low and wide, which keeps it stable on side hills and going up vertical climbs. So much so that when it gets crossed up and hangs tire, it stays extremely planted, causing more traction and keeping you from going over. With the built Dana 300 transfer case and the portal boxes, they create a torquey, consistent crawl gear. The portals also take 50% of the stress off the entire drivetrain, giving you the confidence in finding traction at any cost.
Now, front driver.
This Ironman chassis was built to push the limits and go farther than trail cars have ever been before. A car like this can only push those limits with a good driver behind the wheel. Cody Waggoner has years of off-road racing experience, from Wee Rock to Ultra 4 to opening up new trails. That being said, Rec Gear is proud to feature Cody and his trail car, not only because they're rad, but because how much passion he has for the off-road community. From building a desert oasis that only off-roaders can truly understand and appreciate, to teaming up with RC car companies to get kids involved with off-roading at a young age. Building a company that provides necessary needs in the off-road community, he's truly an inspiration for all off-roaders, including Rec Gear. Sponsored in part by BF Goodrich Tires, Warren Industries, KC Highlights, and Axle Off-Road Helmets. Best way to support this channel is give that subscribe button a little skiddly do, diddle that notification bell, give this video the fat finger, and leave a dirty little comment. Thanks for watching.